YouTube, my name is Gene. Today I want to show you the sleep platform I built for my 4Runner. I built this for two main reasons. One, I wanted to start traveling, camping, and boondocking. And I'd done some backpacking and tent camping, and I just wanted to start getting out of the elements and start sleeping in the vehicle, especially during the cooler winter months. The second thing is, the 4Runner does not come with a flat surface here in the back or behind the front passenger seat when you fold the seats down. There's a hump, and it's not much, but it's enough to be an issue. So I wanted a level surface that I could sleep on and eliminate that issue. So this is a 2015 Toyota 4Runner SR5 4x4. And before I show you kind of the basic setup and then some of the features of the platform, let me quickly tell you the 4 requirements that I had. First of all, I'm 6 feet tall, so I wanted something that was at least 72 inches in length, plus I wanted an extra 4 to 6 inches just for extra space. The second thing is, I wanted 2 sections, or modular. I wanted to be able to remove the forward section and set the rear seats back upright so I could use the rear seats when I wanted to. The third thing is, I wanted to be able to sit up in the back, especially in the late fall and winter months when it gets dark early and cold. I wanted as much room back here as I could get. The final thing is, I wanted something that was low profile, very lightweight, with just a minimalist design. Something just easy that works. So, I'll show you the basic setup, and then I'll take everything out and kind of do a more close-up of some of the key features. Alright, here we go. So now I'm going to show you the basic setup here. The platform, as you can tell, just goes from this side here over here. It's low profile, and I always keep my storage bin here for my camping gear and my backpack on top. I keep a little REI medium to small size camp chair here, and then on top of the platform, the first thing I do before I go on a trip is I put down this yoga mat. It's just a thin, 1/4-inch yoga mat. Then I put down an REI base camp sleeping pad, and then I put down the sleeping bag I want depending on the season. This happens to be a summer bag. Then I keep a down pillow up front behind the passenger seat. So that's the basic traveling setup. Of course, there's quite a bit more gear in there when I do take a trip, more camping gear, photography gear, food, water, that type of thing. So I'm going to show you a side profile view from the rear passenger side, then I'll show you a side profile view from the rear driver's side. Like I said in the intro, the 4Runner rear seats, even when they're folded down, there's still a hump where they meet the back section. And so that was the issue I wanted to solve with this platform. I wanted the level sleeping surface. Also, I removed the rear bench seat here. It's just 2 bolts. It goes clear across to the other side, and I just wanted the extra space, so I removed it. I can put it back in, and I usually do whenever I'm going to be here in town for a while. So I'll let you look through here and see kind of what it looks like. That's clear through to the other side. There's the bottom of the platform. And then you'll notice that little towel there. I keep a towel under this platform. I just fold it in half and lay it under there to protect the back of the seat. The other thing is, this is 72 inches right up to the back of the seat, and if I want an additional 4 to 6 inches, I can just slide the passenger seat forward and pick up that extra room here, and it's not an issue. It works out really well. So let me take you around and show you the other side. Looking through from the driver's side rear seat, there's looking clear through. There's the platform, yoga mat, sleeping bag, etc. Here's one of the bolts, by the way, for the rear seat, and the other one's on the other. Actually, there's 4. There's 2 for this side, and then there's 2 over here on the other side. But I've taken the whole thing out. Then for this side, I just use this for storage. This whole area, and it gets filled up. It's easy to access this side from both when I'm in the vehicle and also from this door. So that's just what works for me. So that's the basic setup, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out, and then I'm going to give you a closer up view of some of the main features of the actual platform. So now I'm going to give you a more close-up view of some of the main features. First of all, the platform is made out of all plywood. The top surface is 1/2-inch birch, and the back half of the lower frame is 3/4-inch birch plywood. Now, the length from the front edge of the platform behind the rear passenger seat to this back edge here is 72 inches. The width from the outside edge here to this edge right here is 26.5 inches. Also, I built a lightweight, just plywood divider or bulkhead here at this, where it breaks underneath, and the front section and the rear section bolt together through that plywood bulkhead, and they also both rest on top of it, so it makes it stable. Let me take you around here to the side, show you how the bolts work. So the 2 sections bolt together through these 2 passage holes here. I don't know if you can see this, but there's one of the bolts. Here's the second bolt. And I don't know if you'll notice this, but there's a piece of aluminum square tubing here. I think it's 1.5 inch square. And it's bolted on the bottom edge of this front section with these 2, I think these are called T-nuts. They're level with the surface, and the 2 bolts go through the plywood divider bulkhead here underneath and into the back storage section, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I just used 2 wing nuts from the inside of the storage section to tighten up the bolts. That keeps everything level, and it keeps it just solid and in place. And I've had no issues with it off-road or anywhere else. It's held up now very well. Oh, the other thing is here, I cut this so it's a little wider here for the forward section of the platform. Kind of goes around this wheel well. There you go. So that's the front section and how it bolts through to the back. It's easy to put in the vehicle and bolt on. It's also very easy to take out, and then I just raise the rear passenger side seat back upright, and I put in the headrest. And then if I want to put in the bench seat in the back, I can, and if I want to leave it out, I just leave it out. Now I'll show you kind of the next main feature after the 2-piece sections, and that's the storage compartment. Let me open it and prop it up. This is the storage section under the platform, and if you'll have noticed, it just hinges together here on the back section of the platform. And also, it's got a little extra depth to it. Underneath the 4Runner carpet is a couple of inches of styrofoam, and I cut out this section of styrofoam. I left this section in, but I cut out this section of styrofoam under the carpet and removed it, and just let the carpet sit down further. That let me pick up a couple of extra inches in storage, and it really made a difference. It allowed me to put some of this gear in here. And so this is a little, I think it's a gas one burner camp stove I keep back here. This is a little AAA roadside assist kit. And these are just some window vents, plastic window vents I made, painted in black. And I keep some recovery gear on this side. And then, of course, before a trip, both compartments get filled up pretty good with different bits and pieces. See if I can show you the back side of the bolts here, the 2 bolts I talked about earlier. There's one of the bolts that passes through with the wing nuts and a washer. And then here on the other side of this rear storage is the other bolt that passes through. There you can see the bulkhead that goes across. That's kind of at the heart of the platform. Everything rests on it. And I'll talk more about these L brackets. I've got one on this side and one on the other. In my next video, I'm going to do a build video, and I'll go over these things in more detail. Let me put this back in here. Think what else on the storage platform? Oh, I mean, I could do some final improvements. You know, I could put some black, I probably ought to put some black carpet in there, cover those edges, and maybe improve the stick, but it works. It's worked for me so far, so I've just kept it that way for now. There you can see how it closes down. Also trimmed off this corner. There was a sharp corner here, and just sleeping at night, that was just an issue, so I trimmed that off. Alright, so the next feature would be the pull-out cook surface here. And I just used two drawer slides, and they have tension springs in them, so kind of pushes in firm, and it doesn't just roll out. You've got to give it a little force to pull it out. Let me show you the two ways I usually use it. When I go camping, this is my first option I have for cooking. This is, I believe it's a gas one. It's a butane or propane combo. It's one burner, and I've got a little MSR cook pot there. And if I want to cook a couple of meals, then I typically use this setup. Give you an idea of the size. Actually, it could come out a little further. Now I'll show you the second setup. This is the setup I use most of the time. And actually, I wasn't sure how much I was going to use this pull-out on my travels and camping trips, but I use it a lot. And mainly, I just use my little backpacking stove here, and the smaller backpacking fuel canister, and this little cook cup pot. And I just boil my water right there, and gosh, for coffee, tea, mountain house meals, whatever works and just requires boiling water, that's usually what I go with. You set this stuff off. There's coffee here. That was the rear storage compartment, the pull-out cook surface. Give you a little closer up look at that. The final feature, I call it a feature, it's just what I decided to finish the platform with, the surface. I tried 3 different things. I tried flat black paint, satin black paint, and then I also tried some truck bed liner paint. And I sprayed all 3 on a piece of plywood, 2 coats, let it dry, looked at it really close, and I decided I liked the truck bed liner spray the best. So that's what I went with. Give you a little closer up view of it. It's kind of got a it's a non-slip type surface. It's kind of got a grit or a texture to it, and what's good about it is the bedding. It keeps the bedding from sliding around. The yoga mat and the sleeping bag, the sleeping pad, all stay in place. Also, it's been very durable and it's held up very well. Kind of give you a closer look of it. So that's the final overview and close-up look of the sleep platform. Now I'll put everything back in and give you my final thoughts on it. Alright, so there you have it. That's a brief overview and a walkthrough of the sleep platform I built for my 4Runner. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below the video and I'll do my best to reply. Also, I may do a second video on the build and get into more detail on what you didn't see today on the, well, a couple of things. I did a plan in Google SketchUp, simple one-page plan. I can show that. I can show the basic tools I used to build this, the materials, cost, which wasn't much, and the finished products I used on it. So, if you're interested in seeing that, please let me know. Also, please subscribe to my channel. Also, you can turn on notifications, so if I do that video and it comes out, you'll be notified. So, I think that's it. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.